Greetings, welcome to my video, Unpack a Standard. My name is Chris Bolger. This is for our instructor, Miss Stacy Staklos. Module 6, Unit 1, Activity 1, Take 42. Okay, so the source that I chose was the Common Core State Standards Initiative, and the code for this is CCSS, ELA, Literacy, RI 11-12.5, CCSS standing for Common Core State Standards, ELA standing for English Language Arts, Literacy, Reading, RI standing for Reading Informational Text, 11-12.5. And so the reason that I chose this one is that I am currently working in the United Arab Emirates with the Ministry of Education, teaching grades 11 and 12. I am an ESL teacher. All right, and so let's talk about what the standard is. Analyze and evaluate the effectiveness of the structure an author uses in his or her exposition or argument, including whether the structure makes points clear, convincing, and engaging. So moving forward, the big idea, and this is what I'm hoping students will get from this. Students will be able to determine if an essay is built with the correct and proper composition, and will also know what is needed to create their own essay. Next, students will be able to understand that even though they may or may not agree with the author and his or her arguments, they will be able to determine that the author put forth valid points in defending their thesis statement. And finally, students will be able to improve their skills on presenting their own ideas and defending them in a clear and logical manner, be it orally or textually. Okay, so let's talk about skills. Skills students will develop to meet the standards. So the two skills here are analyze and evaluate. So I took a moment and I looked up the word analyze, and the definition is examine something methodically and in detail, particularly in order, and interpret it. And as for evaluate, a much shorter definition, but to study or determine. So what is it that they will analyze, evaluate, examine, interpret, study, or determine? That falls here. They will study or determine the effectiveness of the structure an author uses in his or her exposition or argument. Now, moving forward, I pulled out the adjectives, and they will include whether the structure makes points clear, convincing, and engaging. Now, for me, this is a touch subjective because what might be clear to one may not be clear to another, and what might be convincing and engaging to one might not be convincing and engaging to another. So ideally, students will also evaluate why. Moving on, so I came up with some projects or activities. Now, the students I'm working with, they are second English language learners, and I wanted to make up some warm-up activities. So I have two warm-up activities. The first is provide students with a multiple choice activity determining opinion for their reason. So for example, I would say, which is the worst way to travel from Abu Dhabi to Dubai? Is it A, by foot, B, by bus, or C, by camel? And then I would ask the students to give a brief reason why they chose their answer. So let's say a student chooses C, and they say, because camels smell, and it would be a long, bumpy ride. So that's a bit of the subjectiveness that I was discussing earlier, but at least they're giving their opinion. Moving on to another warm-up activity would be brainstorming. Very simple. It's a simple activity, but the idea is to get the mind flowing in defending a thesis. So Dubai, what can I do there for fun? So students would tell me go to Dubai Mall, go to Burj Khalifa, it's the tallest building in the world, go to Burj Arab, it looks like a sail, it's a building that looks like a sail, it's right on the beach. So they can give me numerous reasons, but the idea is why. Okay, and then I came up with a couple projects. An activity would be, so not a project, but an activity. Students will be given quick short essays or paragraphs, and they must determine which sentence or sentences are not relevant to the essay. So for example, like we could be talking about why Dubai is the greatest place in the world, and then I would throw a sentence in that Abu Dhabi has got a great road system. Well, that is not helping to explain why Dubai is a great city. And then another activity would be students will be provided with an essay and in small groups determine A, what the thesis is, B, what the arguments and points are, and C, decide if the points are clear based on the thesis. So that's actually getting more down to the nitty and the gritty. So finally, let's have a look at assessment. Think, pair, share. So let's put let's give the student an essay, read it, think about it. What are the points? What are the strengths? Like what are the points defending the thesis? Pair the students together. Are they thinking the same? Or did one student see something where another student didn't? And then finally share with the rest of the class. Another assessment I would do is handouts of an essay, which will have students A, tell me what the thesis is, B, what are the arguments, and C, explain why it is or isn't effective. And next would be like a +1. And what I would do is I would ask students what arguments they feel can be added to the essay. And then finally, I would also do an exit ticket assessment. And what I was thinking was just asking students a question, a simple question, like, once again, like, give me 3 reasons why Dubai is great. And they would give me one, two, three. And they just, so they understand what's going on, what the question is, what the question is, and then give me the points that they have. So that would be my assessment. Okay, thank you very much. I hope this made sense. And goodbye.